Hi guys, so welcome to the video presentation for CIMA Strategic Case Study Examination May 2018. So this is Shyam here from WOW Academics. So I'm going to discuss about the news articles which are available on the net regarding the company called as Netflix. So why have we choose Netflix? Netflix is the real world company which is like comparable to Couchweb company. Couchweb is our case study company which is given by CIMA now. So what we are going to do in this video, we are going to discuss about Netflix, what are the real world issues that Netflix faces and its challenges. So I identified around some 8 issues here. So these 8 issues are not in any particular order. So we can't say that the first issue is in high priority and the 8th issue is in low priority. So all these are like issues which Netflix faces. So why I have created this video? See, there are like 2 elements which I feel are like very important in this video. One, we are trying to tell what are the issues like faced by Netflix. So you could use those ideas, and in case you get a question which is similar to this in your examination, you can apply these ideas in that question. But I don't think that has a high probability of the same case appearing in your examination. But if you get some other question, you could use these ideas which you get from this video. You can use these ideas from here and you can write a better answer in your examination. So that is a key reason for this video. So we'll start from the first issue. Issue number 1 is Disney company says we will cost substantially less than Netflix. So we'll go to that issue. So we'll start from here. So Disney says we will cost substantially less than Netflix. So we'll just find out who is Disney in relation to Netflix. So Disney is a production house and Netflix buys movies from Disney and they put it on Netflix website. Subscribers pay to Netflix and subscribers can view Disney's movie on Netflix. So that's about the relationship between Disney and Netflix. So Disney is nothing but a supplier to Netflix. Okay. So why are we going to discuss about this news article? There is a little bit of in-depth points which we need to understand here. For example, Disney's future streaming service will challenge Netflix, the reigning streaming champ, with lower prices. So what happens here? Disney is going to start its own content streaming company which is going to be a competitor to Netflix. So what did we say here? Disney was a supplier to Netflix, but now Disney is a competitor to Netflix. Okay. So why is like Disney choosing to become a competitor to Netflix? See, there are actually 2 things. One, Disney has a huge amount of content. They have a huge amount of films, movies, and they have their own brands like Mickey Mouse, and you can just name it. They have a lot of movies within them. That's one. To set up this content streaming company, it costs very less. You don't need to spend a huge amount of money to create a content streaming company. So the entry barrier to this business is very low. So what happens is, not only Disney but other suppliers to Netflix can also start their own streaming business. So that's the key here. So in your examination, you can expect a question like this where the supplier becomes the competitor. So that is one thing. And what Ignar says, we will just look at it. So who is Ignar? Ignar is the CEO of Disney company. So this is what he says. I can say that our plan on the Disney side is to price this substantially below where Netflix is. So why is he pricing the Disney content service at a lower price than to Netflix? That is in the part reflective of the fact that it will have substantially less volume. So the movie availability in Disney will be low when compared to Netflix. It will have a lot of high quality because of the brands and the franchisees that will be on it that we've talked about. But it will simply launch with less volume and the price will reflect that. So I think it's something like a try and test model. So they want to try it and Disney wants to try it and they want to test it. If it goes really well, they can even create agreements with other movie production houses. So they can enter into a pact. So they have a lot of choices here. So they're not like a company like Netflix. That's about this case. So you can expect this kind of a question in your examination about how the dynamics between the supplier is going to change with relation to Netflix. So this is I think it's a possible case here. You might be asked to value Disney, or whether the entry barriers are like good, or whether it's bad, or should Netflix try to buy out Disney, or whether Disney should wants to buy out Netflix. There can be a lot of possibilities. We can't question spot anything in CIMA exam, but this is the issue here. So we'll move on to issue number 2. Issue number 2 is here. We'll just click it and we'll move on to the issue there. So issue is available here. In this news article, which is from Reuters, there are like 3 things which are like discussed: regulation, content and competition. So we are not going to see about content and competition. Okay, so we are just going to look at regulation. If you want to study in depth, you could actually go to this link and you can try it out. So we'll just see about the regulation part. We'll start from here. See, we have already seen a news clipping in your case study, in your pre-seen case study itself regarding this. Okay, and it's actually a real world issue also for Netflix. Okay, so what is the issue here? So it's about a country, Indonesia, where Netflix has launched its own content streaming there. When it launched in Indonesia in January, for example, Netflix ran afoul of the Film Censorship Board for carrying content deemed inappropriately violent or sexual. The Communication Ministry also demanded that Netflix set up a local office and pay Indonesian taxes. So what is the problem here? So Netflix has entered into 130 countries and they have been asked to comply with the local regulations. So it's not only in Indonesia, but this can happen in all the countries, like 130 countries. Their movie has to comply with the local regulations. Okay, so then only they will get a certificate and then only they can release the movie here. If they are not going to comply with this regulation, what is going to be the problem? Look here, State Telecoms company. Okay, State Telecom means it's a government owned company. PT Telekomunikasi Indonesia, okay, or Telecom, will continue blocking Netflix. So until Netflix is going to comply with the local Indonesian government law, Netflix is going to be blocked. So you can't watch Netflix through internet at all in Indonesia. Okay, so that's what they say here. Netflix is still available in Indonesia via Wi-Fi connections and other carriers. So only the government company has banned it. Private internet service providers, they are still allowing the movie to be streamed. But this can't be like continuing for a long time, because government can step in and they can make the regulation much more stronger for Netflix here. So just imagine how would Netflix comply with 130 countries? What is the cost involved? The screening of the movie is going to be delayed, and it's going to be huge kind of a work for Netflix. So the same thing can even come in your examination. So how like pestle analysis, or what should CouchWeb do to understand the local government laws? What is the stakeholder relationship that the Netflix should have with each country government and regulatory bodies? So that kind of a question can come up. Or assume that the same issue, assume that CouchWeb has violated some country law, then how they going to handle it? Or CouchWeb is banned in a country, how they are going to handle it, and what is your opinion about that? So these questions are like potential questions that can come up in your examination. So this is your issue number 2. We'll move on to issue number 3. Issue number 3 is Hulu climbs above 20 million subscribers, inks major DreamWorks animation deal. Okay, we'll move on to this issue. We'll start from the issue number 3 here, and issue number 3 we'll just give an overview. So there's a company called as Hulu. So who is Hulu? Hulu is a competitor to Netflix, and Hulu is like something like 50% has 50% subscribers when compared to Netflix. So Netflix has around some 40 million subscribers in US. Hulu has 20 million subscribers in US. Okay, so there's always going to be a rush between Netflix, Hulu, and other companies to tie up or to create agreements with movie production houses. So this article I picked out because of two reasons. So reason number one, Hulu has signed an agreement with DreamWorks Animation, okay, so that they have the right to get the content from this company for the next 3 years. So whatever new movie is going to be created by DreamWorks, all those movies will be available with Hulu for internet streaming. So that's about it. That's the first thing which I wanted to tell you. So in something of a coup in its battle with Netflix, Hulu announced a multi-year deal with DreamWorks Animation, giving it exclusive US streaming rights for the studio's library titles. New releases starting in 2019 and the original series to bow in 2020. So it's going to be a 3-year pact between these two companies here. That's the first one I wanted to just inform you. The second one, which is much more of a key issue, is here. Okay, the business model. So how is like Netflix earning? See, you have to be very clear in how Netflix earns its revenue. Okay, what is its business model? Okay, so there's only one source of income for Netflix, and it's purely subscription from customers. Okay, so every company should look at 2 or 3 sources of income. They should not be sticking with just one. So this is the next issue I just wanted to tell you guys. So we have to understand the business model here, and Hulu has a different business model here. So in what way does Hulu get its income? So just we'll go through this paragraph. Hulu has a story to sell to advertisers. Hulu said it will begin selling dynamically inserted ads in the Hulu with live TV service starting later in the second quarter of 2018, coming a year after it launched the 40 per month bundle. So what is going to be happening here? Hulu is going to get its money, its income in 2 ways. One, from subscribers payment, and 2, they're going to also put ads in their videos. So they're going to get 2 incomes, but there is a plus point and a minus point. The good thing is Hulu is going to get an additional way of revenue, but the minus point is the viewer experience is going to be like little bit bad. So what is its implication for Netflix? Hulu is like successful with this model, Hulu is going to get a lot of profit here, but Netflix is will suffer for some 1 or 2 quarters, because Hulu will be like earning a higher profit margin and lower profit margin. So the same kind of a business model thing can come up in your examination for Couchweb, and you have to say which business model is like better. So you should know what is the good thing about having a business model like Netflix or a business model like Hulu, or what other new business model can come up. That also you have to just think, and these things will help you to make your answer much more richer.